Hi everybody, this is Christy. I am the Intimate Warrior. I thank you so much for stopping by, and as always, I send you love. So I have been wanting to make this video for a couple of days, and I apologize for not making a video for a couple of days here. But you guys know that I am only going to provide you with something that is going to truly inspire you. I am not going to make a video just to be making a video. And although I've had this in my mind for several days now, I haven't really had the time to get this to you on top of me doing my regular sessions with you beautiful beings out there and me living my life and trying to really absorb everything that I am given on my own, including my own ascension process. I humbly wait until it is definitely the right time to provide. So let's go ahead and do my best here. On 7/7, which was the closing of the Sirius gateway, I ended up seeing out of my orb. For those of you who have followed me for a long time, and I don't know how long it's been that I've mentioned this, but have been consistent in watching my videos, every time I mention my orb, I have expressed that it began as a single orb transforming itself, to the point of that now it began to look like a womb, then a fetus in the womb. So I knew that this was about the birth of Christ consciousness. I knew that about Christ being born. I finally witnessed the baby being born on 7/7. Now you can kind of see why I have put this off for a couple of days. For 3 days. It's been 3 days actually. Because this is very, very personal. It becomes such a beautiful experience that time is always necessary in order to come up with a message. I hope that made sense. You guys know it's a blessing to have these experiences. It is a blessing. I hope that you know that it is a blessing for you to be going through your process. It is a divine gift that is given from Source that you have accepted to receive. You accepted this task and this gift. Therefore, every single thing that you are going through is a blessing and a gift. Whether it's good or bad, no matter what you think about it, it is a blessing, and you agree to it. So to continue this message, yesterday I ended up being given information in reference to the spiritual sun and Venus. And I'm going to do my best here to give you understanding, because I've been spending a few days trying to gather information in reference to the stars. How can what I have been given in terms of divine messages relates to astrology? I've been really trying to make that connection for you guys so that you can have a greater understanding pertaining to what you're going through, if this is where you are currently at. Now, we all know that Sirius is highly significant from the first week of July
all the way to about the middle of August. The Sirius gateway opens up, allowing our spiritual sun to bring us more light. Now, although Venus is making her way, what's today? Today, tomorrow. It might be today, it might be tomorrow, sometime here in July. This is not what I'm going to be talking about. It's pertaining to the Lion's Gate. This video is going to take us into the Lion's Gate. Sirius is our spiritual sun. And now, this is called, what I am about to talk about, is the helical rising. And this is when a celestial object, at the same time, the rising of a celestial object occurs before the sun, or its first visible rising after a long period of being invisible in conjunction with the sun. The opposite would be helical setting. So although we have already had Sirius rising with the sun here at the beginning of the Sirius gateway, or here in the beginning of July, what I am about to discuss doesn't seem to line up with what is actually going on with Venus being visible through the night sky here in a few days, today I think, or tomorrow, and for a couple of days here, because we have to have the rising of Sirius and then the visibility of Venus as well through that same time period. That only takes place through the Lion's Gate portal, which is, of course, the high peak of it is August the 8th. The opening of the Lion's Gate portal begins on July the 28th and continues on until August 11th. The peak of it is August of the 8th. Venus appears August the 10th. In between. Now, let me do my best to really give you this type of significance here. And please bear with me as I have. Okay. Have you ever heard of Sopdet or Sothis? And please, again, excuse me if I am not pronouncing these names properly. Well, Sopdet, which is the Egyptian name, is also in relationship to Sothis or Sothis, known to Greek mythology, which is works with the Sirius, which works with Sirius. Please excuse me today. A lot is coming through, and I am trying my hardest to process. Which is through the constellation of Orion. We all know the significance of both Sirius and Orion, especially to the Egyptians. Now, Sopdet, or better known to us as Sirius, but also Isis, which coordinates with the Egyptian Trinity. It signified the helical rising, which I have just mentioned, which begins early July and signifies the rising of the Nile River or the flooding of the Nile River, and also the Egyptian New Year. Sopdet is also known as Isis, as I just mentioned, which gives birth to Horus, which works with Venus. In the pyramid text, Sopdet is described as having united with the king Osiris to give birth to the morning star associated with Venus, and through her association with that netherworld god, she was naturally identified with Isis. That's how you get the mix there. Now, does this sound familiar to you? So it continues to say that Sopdet had to save the child, the born Venus, or the light bearer, from being swallowed by the serpent or the dragon. And this is also works with the verse in the Bible in Revelations about the woman with the sun and the moon below her feet. So let's go ahead and talk about this. I just said that Venus is also known as light bearer, or the bringer of light, also known as Lucifer, also known as phosphorus. Now, phosphorus works with ether. Now, everything in its opposites. Christ in the opposite is Lucifer, or what we call the devil, the manifested devil. Because we are within the age of Aquarius, everything is lining up precisely for the birth of Christ consciousness. Now, I've mentioned that everything goes within the aspect of 3. From the eggs, there is a level or a process through even the eggs that have to take place. And so it doesn't matter where you really are, because there's always layers of this that will eventually take us to the end result. But even when we are at the end result, we are still upgrading. Because as long as we are here and going through the energies associated with it, you can always expand on that. So it's even if you, because I know there are already those who have the aspect of self, the true self within them. They're already practicing their I am presence. They know their true path. But because every time that we are in alignment with our higher self and love, because light is limitless and always ever changing, you changing per transformation, you can still expand. That's why, I wanted to mention before, and I'm going to add it into this video, that those who end up getting an Akashic reading, for example, those who have the ability to read the Akash and say, this is what your future is going to or foretell, this is what is in your future. So every time, no matter where you currently are, when you don't get ahead of yourself, wondering what your future self is going to be, You continuously stay in your now moments, trying to realize who you truly are in this very moment, learning the lessons that are coming to you at these moments. The more often that you reflect and love, getting more mindful of yourself and aware of yourself, your future self is always greater. So when I was talking about Sirius birthing Venus, or let me just go ahead and use, because it's every time you are in alignment with love, no matter what someone says about your future, let's just go ahead and say that you are going to be a millionaire. I don't know. Let me just use that. Someone tells you that you are going to be a millionaire by the time that you hit a certain age, and that your path is going to take you to being a major influencer. If you have that thought in your head, only that's what you're going to be, because now someone's told you, okay, so now you can at least be a little bit excited about it. You can start setting those intentions, but where you can get into trouble is that you have really a limited idea now. Because now someone's told you, you can be a highly influential influencer, let's just say here on YouTube, making millions of dollars. You set the limit on your future self. Do you understand what I'm saying? When you don't worry so much about what your future is, you consistently stay in the alignment of love, having trust and faith in your path, everything that you can achieve is also limitless. Love is limitless. Faith is limitless. That's why every single time when you are in your present moments and loving the present moments, you are actually changing your future outcome. No matter what someone has already dictated to you, you can change your future outcome by changing every single present moment. The more that you are in love with your moments, your future self is going to reflect something even greater than that. But if you have it in your mind that you are going to be a millionaire, only a millionaire, being an influencer, you're setting the intention of being limited. One idea. That's one idea. You're giving yourself one version of yourself instead of a limited or limitless individual. Can be a little misleading because Sopdet, which is also known as Isis, births her son, which is Sopdu or Horus. And Horus is associated with Venus. Venus rises towards the east of Sirius. This also goes to the Bible where it says in Isaiah 46:10 through 13. You can read that. Here's just a little bit of it. I make known the end from the beginning, from ancient times, what is still to come. I say, my purpose will stand, and I will do all that I please. From the east I summon a bird of prey, from a far-off land a man to fulfill my purpose. What I have said that I will bring about, what I have planned that I will do. I am bringing my righteousness near. It is not far away, and my salvation will not be delayed. Calling a bird of prey from the east, the man of my purpose from a far country. Now it was also Horus, who is known as the eagle, and often seen with the sun disk behind or above his head, signifying the rising of the eagle or rising of Horus. rising of the sun, rising of consciousness. So that is where I'm going to leave it today in terms of this message. I am going through this major process here myself, and I also wanted to mention that it does speak about Christ coming in the fire. And although we are always going through this fire element of purification, when the Christ child is born, the fire element is going to be felt again, purifying us at a more deeper level from within. The purification of fire can bring on, of course, the sensation of burning, healing oneself. But in its opposite, it can be very cooling, which is also a part of that integration period. I am experiencing more physical symptoms than I ever have in a long time now. Lots of physical symptoms in terms of physical pain, that is. Not to the point of limiting me or anything like that. But I just wanted to bring that to your awareness. My level of pain has decreased as I have grown spiritually. In the very beginning of it all, it was very difficult. And as I began to open up more to spirit, it shifted into more of a blessing type of sensation. I see what I am going through. I can witness what I am going through and observe it as part of my purification or my upgrades. And now I am no longer in that limited mindset of pain. Although I am speaking about a discomfort and using the word pain, my mind has a different understanding with it, pertaining to it, which is why it doesn't limit me. And I'm not saying sometimes I do rest. I listen to myself. Sometimes I have headaches that I listen to myself and just kind of take stillness, rest, take naps, whatever it is. I do listen to myself, but it's completely opposite of what it used to be before, where I was laid flat out, because that was all my earlier stages. High intense purification and teaching you how to learn about yourself and trusting your path and stepping more into love. So I hope that this video helps you in understanding what is going to be taking place here towards the end of July, but more specifically through the Lion's Gateway. And I know I'm going to have more information pertaining to it. This is just a glimpse through it. There's always more. This is Christy. Much love, health, and healing your way. I am bringing purpose to your life. Take care.